Going on, everybody? This is Bobby G, back with a second series. Some of you may have seen my episodes from the series Saturday Spiel. This video is going to be the first one of a new series, which is going to be called Bobby's Book Review. Some of you know me. My name is Bobby G, if I haven't introduced myself in the past. And what this is going to be a series of me just basically sharing my library, my own personal library, which, speaking of which, that's just the back wall of the books that I own. But yeah, I'm going to be sharing my library. I'm going to be sharing the knowledge that I have, the wisdom that I've learned over the years, and I'm going to start it out heavy. Talking about a book of an individual who, if you don't know who this person is, if you don't know anything about their history, I'm going to break down some of what's written in the book, but I don't want to give the whole thing away because I want you to read it for yourself. It is Prison Writings, My Life is My Sundance by Lenard Peltier. Edited by Harvey Arden. United States Prisoner, number 89637-132. And it says United States prisoner because he's a political prisoner. For those of you who don't know who Lenard Peltier is, there's a documentary out there. It's called Incident at Oglala. It was directed by Robert Redford. You have the late John Trudeau in there. Rest in peace. And you also have a lot of other people there. I believe Russell Means is in there. Not Russell Peters, Russell Means. Russell Means was one of the founding members of AIM, which is an organization that's discussed in this book. Just to kind of give you an overview of Lenard Peltier, he's a political prisoner, has been for many years, since the 70s, when he escaped to Canada. And the reason he fled to Canada was because of what is known as Incident at Oglala, which was during a reign of terror during the 60s and 70s. He's a former Marine. Hint, hint, for my fellow vets who may be watching this video. Something to look up. And really, this is a collection of not only poetry, but the main body of this book is really how he grew up, things that he personally went through, how he later became a part of AIM, some of the struggles that he helped with, and some of the protests that he went to, one of which was a march to Washington, D.C. That was called the Walk of Broken Treaties. For those of you who don't know the history of this country, Native Americans have been horribly treated. You can ask my Ho-Chunk friends from the Ho-Chunk Reservation or the Ho-Chunk Nation here in this state, and they'll tell you. Like, if you ask them about the BIA, they will tell you the BIA is a joke. If you don't know what the BIA is, look that up. And there's Fort Laramie. There was what we had during former President Obama's presidency, when you had the protests that were going on in Standing Rock. What Prison Writings from Lenard Peltier really does is it really gives a lot of backstory on what went on during that time. Not just with regards to quote-unquote broken treaties, but who he was, how he became a political prisoner, why he became a political prisoner, and just one of the most heinous injustices that has ever been done. Because what happened to him is he became a victim of a show trial. In recent years, there have been multiple documents and former federal agents that came out and said that the case against him was made up. It was to please the feds. It was to please the BIA. It was to please the goons. If you don't know who those are, look that up. Again, I don't want to give the whole book away, but I want to give you a little pieces here and there. There are going to be names like Bob Robidoux and Jimmy Eagle. And a couple of people that he talks about, known as Grandma and Grandpa Jumping Bull. And this is a story that, like, again, if if you get a chance, run this video back so you can see the book, you can see the cover. He's got a quote here from quite a few people, but if you look, the very first quote at the top of the page of the person to give a cosign on this is former Archbishop Desmond Tutu, which is very telling. But yeah, there's a lot of things that he just got mistreated, and even though he's been through a hard life, he became an activist. He has become someone who is a man of many talents. If you don't know what the Sundance is, if you don't know what the Ghost Dance is, I'm not going to get into the details of that, but part of that is described in this book. Also, in this book, if you want to write to his defense lawyers or his defense committee, that information is also in the book. I wanted to start the book reviews with this because when I read it, I've known about Lenard Peltier for many years now, since the documentary Incident at Oglala in '93, which talks about him and talks about what happened that day in 1975, which for some of us is not that long ago. I mean, it was before I was born, but I wasn't born that many years after, which I'm telling my age. But, again, the reason I want to bring up the books that I have and the information I have is because books like this, I doubt that a whole lot of people know about this book or who Lenard Peltier is. You know, to those that are watching this that do know about him, kudos. If you know about this, then you already know what's up. If you don't know about this man, if you don't know about the history of the Reign of Terror on Pine Ridge and Rosebud, the Lakota reservations, if you don't know about this stuff, educate yourself. Find out what's in here. Again, it's not just poetry. It's a lot about his life and a lot that's going on, and it gives you a lot about what a Sundance is, what the Ghost Dance is, maybe some of the distractions of what the Reign of Terror may have been about, that there may have been some other devious schemes going on, which, again, I don't want to get too much into the details because I want you to read this book. I want you to read this book. I really do. And there are going to be other books that I'm going to be bringing along that I'm going to talk about with each episode because I want people to become informed. More than anything that the Lord, I feel, has put in me in these recent days is to share the knowledge and the wisdom that I have gained, both on issues that have to deal with faith and some that don't have to deal with faith but still have to deal with the kingdom as a whole. And here's what I mean by that. Just because I don't necessarily just because I'm a Jewish Christian, because I'm a person of faith, doesn't necessarily mean that I don't try to find out what's going on in the world. It's why I started this video off and this series off with the book that I chose. This is why I chose My Life as My Sundance. Because there are a lot of things going on right there. And the first thing, before anything, when I look into the book of Genesis, is that every single human being, everyone, man, woman, child, could be from anywhere in the world, is made in the image and likeness of God. And that includes Brother Peltier. And, you know, we, in this day and age where it seems like everybody wants to be a know-it-all, I'm not here trying to be a know-it-all. I'm just trying to share what I've learned. I want people to be informed. I want people to know what in the world is going on. I want people to know their history well. I want people to really dig into their faith very well. I'm going to be going into some other books with each episode. If you like this, cool. Hope you support it. And, you know, if you feel inclined to share this video with others in your circles, please do. Because I want the word to get out, and I want people to continue to learn, especially in this time where it feels like everybody's separated from everybody because of COVID and the civil unrest and everything that's going on. I just want people to have something. I want people to have something. And if people need to find an activity of some sort to grow, then I hope this series helps people grow. I hope it gives something to think about. And again, don't just take my recommendations just from me talking about reviewing these books. Like, I really want people to read the books that I share because it'll open your eyes to so many things. And that's my hope from this, is that people not only grow in knowledge, but reading these books that I share, that also grow in wisdom as well. Because you can never stop learning on this side of heaven, and even in eternity, I have a feeling we're going to be learning so many things. This is my first episode of Bobby's Book Review. Check it out. Again, one more time. Prison Writings, My Life is My Sundance, Lenard Peltier. See if you can find it. It was a rare gem for me to find, I'll tell you that. But look through it. Also, movie suggestion, look up the movie Thunderheart with Val Kilmer and the late Graham Greene. That's a movie it's historical fiction, but it still points out a lot of stuff that went on during a certain period of time in our history. This is Bobby's Book Review. First episode out the gate. Hopefully it's something that can encourage people and can take to heart and can also learn a few things from. Hopefully we'll be back with an episode not too soon. We'll see how this goes. Peace.